As of late, we've been working on the island a lot, but we've got some more parts on order and we can't continue until those parts arrive. So we're going to continue building right over here in the Lego City. Recently, we built a tunnel that goes from the countryside to the downtown. That tunnel is right there. As of right now, it's not connected. So we need to build a railroad crossing, a river crossing, and a gravel road to connect it to the other section of gravel road. So we've got to just tidy up this entire area. So the first thing I decided to do was clear this entire section right here, all these mills plates that have the train track on them, because we also need to build up the backside of those mills plates so that we blend in the elevated ground. And then I also removed the corner right there because of course we need to make that a T, and it's going to be a lot easier to work on all of these plates upstairs by our parts inventory. Got this big open plot of land right here beside the angled road as well. I need to build some sort of structure in here. I don't think we should just make it like a forested area. I think we've got to put something cool there, some sort of building. So I'm going to think about that today as well. It's pretty funny seeing the long strip of base plates up in the build area here. The first thing we decided to take care of was the railroad crossing. So we just blended in the ballast track or created the slope going up to it using some of the 1x4 slopes and also 1x2s, and then filled in some of the gaps with 1x1s and left some exposed as well. Put some random parts on the top there. It's just like gravel that has been dragged onto the top of the track. Next thing we need to do is just blast all this green out here so that we can put our underlaying brown plate in and then do the gravel road texture and get this all connected. We also need to create a little bridge going over top of this river here, which we've started tiling off with the trans light blue tiles. And we're thinking we're going to go with a design similar to the footbridge that I created not too long ago that uses a lot of headlight bricks and tiles. The footbridge was built once again with those headlight bricks, so just like a big stack of those, and then the tiles on top, and that provides the gaps between the slats. And on the bottom of the headlight bricks, you can see some brackets coming up there, and that's how we were able to put the handrail in, and it's all reinforced with plate on the back of the tile. And we use the same concept for the road bridge, or vehicle bridge I should say. But the problem is the tiles weren't long enough, so we had to use multiple tiles and reinforce it all on the bottom. But then we use the exact same concept with the headlight bricks and the brackets for the handrail, and we built it up a little bit. And we had to create a ramp on either side. Of course, we could have used slopes, we could have just wedged plates between it, but we actually connected it using a long Technic pin and some Technic elements, and then filled in the gap that was created using those various connectors with the 1x2 rail plates on the top. Didn't have enough of them, so there's a little bit of a gap there, but I think that provides a nice bridge for the gravel road. It is going to work for the countryside. I think that's good. You know, you can fit one vehicle on there. The bridge is going to sit just like that. It should lock in place with the gravel road detail on either side. Ripped out a bunch of the green mills plate there, leading up to the turn, and now we're starting to add the detail to the reddish brown plate, which was just laid on top of the base plate with one additional plate of height. So it's 2 plates plus the gravel road detail, and of course that goes all the way over here toward our railroad crossing. I also changed all this here to dark gray because this is all going to have to be rock work built up to the raised platform, because right here we have the elevated area where we have the treehouse. Test fitting the first couple plates. So when I connect that, it looks like that gravel road is going to line up perfectly. Yeah, now we have a T intersection. Just a little bit more gravel road to go there. Mrs. Brixie's helping out as always. Laying them down stud by stud, working on that rock work as well. It's coming along. T intersection, bridge, the water now connected, and the first sections of rock work built with 100% slopes. I like it when we just slope build it. It looks great. Now we just need to continue with more rock work all the way along here. But we're going to transition out of using 100% slopes, and we're going to use brick for the most part. Hopefully we have enough of it, but I'll probably change from dark gray to green. So then it will be like dark gray over here and then green, and then where it connects to the other part, it's also green. Pile of bricks later, And all the brickwork is done as well. So there's two different styles. You can do it with bricks or you can do it with all slopes. What I like about all slopes is it goes up vertical very quickly. And you can also throw some inverted slopes in there. So if you need to go up a tall distance within a few studs, this is definitely the way to do it. And of course, you could do that over here as well, but just having that amount of slopes to do it all in slopes is just insane. And you can still put slopes on top of this like rough draft rockwork. And what I like about having the studs available is you can cover it in vegetation and do all sorts of different stuff as well. So I think both methods are good. And I like to use a combination of the two within the city. But there you go. Now we've got to place these bad boys. Actually, before we do that, I want to show off my mess, which you probably saw, and also the very colorful backside and supporting bricks of the slopes and just the brick rock work. All the stuff hidden behind the scenes. Very, very colorful. There you go. You know, it's funny when you compare the different rock styles, because we have the brick built, we have the panel built, then we have the straight up slope built. And I've never really done like a cost analysis to see what is more effective when you're building mass rock work. Is it more cost effective to brick build it and then lay slopes and vegetation on top? Or is it more cost effective to just do all slopes? I don't know. I haven't really, for some reason, haven't done a cost analysis. But I think it's good to have a combination of all the different styles because you don't want it to all look like that, I don't think. I think you want some to be like this style as well, which is brick and slope and panel built, so that you can also add those like pops of vegetation and have some studs exposed. Granted, you can't do that when you build just slopes as well, but I think there's nothing wrong with that. I think it looks great. And I also think there's nothing wrong with that, which is all slope built with a really tall vertical height in a short, like horizontal or stud distance. So I think it's good having just a combination of all the different types. But yeah, maybe I need to work in more of this style in future landscaping because it does look cool. It does change the dynamic of it a bit, and we can add some more pops of color on here, like on these available studs. And I can also integrate some light gray mixed into the dark gray as well. But yeah, there we go. They're all placed. Obviously, we need to go through here and add a crazy amount of detail like we've done everywhere else. Well, not everywhere at this point, but in many other places throughout the city. But we also need to fill in all of that space over there. Because now we have what I call the rough draft rock work done from way over there, stretching all the way over here, passing underneath this bridge leading toward the campground, and it stops right here, and I just need to wrap up this area. So I need to get all that rock work done, and then we can go through and detail it probably all at once over a couple-day period. And then it will all eventually look like the detailed stuff that we can find in the campground. Hey, but you know what? I really don't even mind the Lego Minecraft style hills. Like that looks a lot better than exposed, colorful, supporting like mills work. And you know what I did? For now, I just put the Twilight house right here in this open spot. Definitely not permanent, but a pretty good spot for it. I think when it was up on that platform there, it was too tall, and therefore it was blocking the view of the other residential houses. So putting it down there makes sense. Not really, because it's beside a train track and also right by a tunnel, but either way, I think it works in the Lego world that we're building, but eventually I want to custom build something and put it in that position. Maybe like an abandoned building, like an old barn or an old shed or something. Somebody was saying a fire watch tower. I think that would be really cool to put somewhere on like an elevated surface somewhere here, but I don't know if it should be right there. But there's one other thing I want to do to that area to help improve the look of it. And that is place all of these spruce trees. We've got a bunch built here ready to go and a bunch that are still waiting to be assembled. We've got parts that are on order from Denmark. Once those arrive, we can build more trees and assemble those ones. But hey, these ones are just sitting here, they're sort of in the way. We may as well place them in the city. It's pretty insane to think that this relatively small area of the Lego city can just consume 4 base plates of trees which took thousands of pieces to construct in multiple days, and it looks unchanged. We're getting there though, we're getting there. I eventually want to have this area just covered with trees and have like little buildings and stories everywhere, and also just add more like ground vegetation that you can see like around this pond right here. Eventually I want the entire countryside to be fully detailed like that, but it's just a matter of getting there. It's a matter of obtaining the pieces and obtaining the hours to construct the trees and put them in there. But you know, it's one thing at a time here in the studio, and for the most part, all those trees ended up right over there by the Twilight House. Once again, that's not the final location of the Twilight House. I just put it there as like a temporary hold spot. So there's no point in like paving a driveway for it or anything, because I think eventually it's going to be like worked into a mountain range or something over there. Haven't quite decided yet, but I think it looks good there for now. It doesn't make any sense, but it works. And there you go. All the fir trees have been sort of scattered throughout this countryside area of the Lego city. It's getting there slowly but surely over time. I think that looks pretty slick. Another idea from a previous video from the comment section was to build an ATV trail through here. And I love that. So what I'll probably do when I get more 4x4 reddish brown plate is pop out these green ones all the way along here, and then frame that with like wedge plates, and we'll create a little dirt bike trail all the way through here. But I just discovered today when I was building the gravel road, we actually did it with 2x6s that were out of 4x4. So I just need to order some more 4x4s. If I use 2x6s, the underlying mills work no longer becomes 2x2 bricks. It's like 2x all the way along. It's just not very efficient with parts at all. So I'll probably get on ordering that. I guess add that to our parts to be ordered list, even though we just submitted an insane amount of orders through Lego during Double Points days to get other parts for the island. But it is what it is. We'll get those eventually too. But I'm loving this area. I think this is looking a lot better. We get down to that POV and we can see the gravel road connecting right there. I think it looks pretty awesome. Everybody, I hope you enjoyed this update. I know I sure enjoyed it because we've been meaning to take care of that for a long time, and it feels really good to get that done today. Also, I'm getting over a sickness right now. I've had like a really sore throat for the last 3 days, and as you can imagine, it's not good when I have to talk to a camera. So it feels like I'm getting over that now, and we can continue progressing with some more stuff here in the studio as well, which is going to be good. Right on. There we go. I think the next thing we're going to take care of is something here in the studio in the Lego City. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Farewell.